just gotten worse. This is around 19Z, and it is looking like the risk has been the highest it has been in my lifetime. I've never in my entire lifetime have seen a high risk on day 2, and there it is. Not only that, but that high risk before day 2 happens to be in my home state of Alabama. Right now, I'm in a moderate risk. It's still going to be really bad, especially. I feel like this one is going to be an historic outbreak. I think it'll be comparable to April 27th, 2011. There's not really much for me to say. It's a 30% risk for Birmingham. It doesn't get any higher than that. I mean, it could go 45 or 60. It might go 45 or 60 by tomorrow. Wind, I'm in the highest threat of wind, 30%. Of course, can go 45 and 60. We'll see if that does take place. I think if this were to go 45 or 60, it would be in my area. So I'll probably be under a high risk for wind. And then for hail, like I said, I'm in 30% hatch risk. So probably going to get some hail. But this is insane. This is honestly, I cannot describe to you how large the threat is for intense severe thunderstorms. I myself cannot find the words. It is the highest it will ever be in many years. This is an outbreak that a lot of people will never forget and will be damaged. And after the outbreak, I'll be live for about 10-15 hours depending on how intense the storms are. After that live stream and after this outbreak, I will then go over the tornadoes, where they did their damage, and what can be avoided next time, because this will be an event to remember. This is incredible. This is honestly one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. A high risk like this on day 2 of this size. This is ridiculous. This is honestly ridiculous. It's insane. It's unfathomable. I mean, the whole time they're just talking about how bad the tornadoes are going to be. EF3 plus tornadoes here on the table. You're looking at EF4s, maybe even EF5s. EF5s are on the table. EF5s. I think there will be an EF5. At least one. I think that in northern Alabama, something really bad is going to happen that I wish I didn't have to say, and that the National Weather Service has noted that there will be a thermal boundary that'll just kind of sit on the Alabama-Tennessee border, and just some of the most extreme tornadic environment will exist on that boundary. So we might be upgraded to a high risk for that. It'll just jut north like this. We'll see. But overall, you're looking at one of the worst tornado outbreaks in a long time. It's going to be very historic. Many states are impacted by it. I honestly don't know what else to say. It's going to be as bad as it ever will be. Tornado risk is a 30% hatched is on the table. Let me repeat that. 30% hatched. All right, tomorrow, this 30% hatched will likely be 3 or 4 times as big. All right, it'll probably encompass this whole area. And there'll probably be a little 45% in there. If that were to happen, then just keep alert. We're going to go over this. I'm going to show you the crazy model runs. And then after that, we're going to talk about it. Okay? Showed you all your categories here for this ridiculous severe weather outbreak. And here we go. So I'm going to go into weather.com.edu. We're first going to look at the 18Z HER. I told you I'd make a new video at 18Z, and here we go. And I knew that it would go high. I knew it was. Judging by what I was looking at, it was going to go high. So here's your HER. All right, so you get thunderstorms. Some of these could be tornadic. Some of these couldn't be tornadic. It'll all depend on how our atmosphere is and how much we'll develop, because the HER is assuming that our atmospheric cap doesn't break. Like, our atmospheric cap gets broken pretty much immediately. And then after that, our atmosphere basically recovers, and then a wall of violent, vicious supercells is there to meet us here in Madison County. They fly through. Here's one right here that looks super nasty. I mean, this just looks terrible. Big old supercell over Limestone County there. Here's another one over here. Here, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. There's a couple over here. They're everywhere. Then after that, that goes into this squall line thing. All right, so here's your squall line. And there's also going to be some rotation bits on that squall line. And then that flies through. All right, and apparently, according to this, another squall line after that. I can't confirm that. Oh, also a supercell outbreak down here near Florida as well. All right, that's just to put extra icing on the cake. You're gonna have a supercell outbreak. It's even supercells in the ocean. All right, the supercells are everywhere. They will never leave, and they continue to be like this. And if you compare this to the 12Z run, in my opinion, it's gotten worse. The 12Z run sort of showed more intense convection. Then that kind of overspreads, and then really quickly our atmosphere rebounds. We get a couple supercells midday, and a wall of supercells later. 18Z run shows more of a more southerly convection. Right, it's pretty confident. In fact, that convection has already started in Texas. This is the same stuff that's going to cause this eventually. Then all those turn into this, and they fly north, and then after that, we get hit with a bunch of supercells. Okay? Seems pretty bad. Now, what's really scary is if I look at my supercell composite, look how northern Alabama doesn't get touched, but this thermal boundary here is set. And then just how it kind of bubbles up north and our values here explode. Yeah, that's not good. We just have super high supercell composite values. I'm not even going to show you soundings. There's no point in doing so. It's pretty obvious it's going to be a bad day. And just to prove that to you, if I look at my helicity swaths, you can see that there will be tornadic thunderstorms going through this area. Let's just do the helicity swaths all the way. And this is usually a signature you'd see for a tornado outbreak. So everybody needs to be on their toes. This is just the hurt. We haven't even gotten to some of the nastier ones yet. All right. The NAM ST is still coming in, but does show that this. First of all, it shows a lot more supercells. I mean, just holy crap! Look at all these supercells, and it doesn't show this. It starts to show this convection bubbling up. But oh my God, a lot of supercells, especially in the Missouri area. I mean, just look at all these supercells. Right? Obviously, those will converge into a line, but it's a lot of supercells starting off with the NAM. I'll be real. And then let's take a look at the tropical. We're just gonna use tropical tidbits for this one. And of course, if we don't have a new run for it, I just won't look at it. But like I said, 18Zs are coming in still. If you're confused on what 18Z is, that's just kind of like midday. And this one shows more of a. Doesn't show the supercells getting all the way down. This is the high resolution. Only shows this band, which I think is more accurate. And then doesn't show the rain in Texas, so it's already off. And then shows this. Whatever this is. If this happens, I don't know what to say to you. It just looks like a big red blob. You don't really see that on radar signature, so I think this one is inaccurate. Of course, to clarify that, we'll use WAFDW. And this one's more accurate. It does show that rain in Texas. Doesn't show it as intense as it is, but does show the rain in Texas. Shows a little bit more just supercells, but not a lot of them. It shows that to kind of develop and just quickly explode and move through. All right, it quickly erupts and moves through, and this is around 3 a.m. All right, 3 a.m. Those move through. After that, our atmosphere rebounds, and then a supercell outbreak ensues. All right, that would warrant a high risk. But the HER here, obviously, is going to be the most trustworthy one. You see, it shows that rain really well. It shows the development. And then shows the supercell outbreak. All right, and let's see what that rain looks like right now. So I'm just going to go to weather.us base velocity. Check them out. And you can tune into your local news for this, especially when you have a risk that's this high. But I will be going live probably tonight, probably around 2 to 3 a.m. Maybe. And if you notice something, the HER was showing rain here in Texas. All right. The HER showed rain here in Texas. We are seeing something. There's definitely some showers. All right. So I wouldn't doubt what the HER is saying, but not nearly in the amount that it was predicting. All right. What's weird is, and this really, really, really concerns me, is that the live radar has this area of rain down here. there's obviously some showers or a weak boundary that's kind of moving through here. This is able to get storms going, and it looks like one already has. We're going to have an issue. So let's just watch this rain. We'll see what it does. Personally, I don't think it's going to do anything. Here's your moderate risk for today here up in Missouri. Let me just take a quick look at this. Yeah, so you got considerable severe thunderstorms warnings out here for like 70 mile an hour wind. Of course, this situation hasn't developed yet, but obviously some very strong winds with these storms. I'll see everybody later. Outbreak is look like it's about to start. Initiation of supercells will probably be tonight in Mississippi and Alabama. That will just continue until late tomorrow night. See everybody. See what the high risk goes.